So shorty was really good. Let me put my foot up so we can have a real serious conversation.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening?
Raise your hands if you do not know where you belong. Now, I know you're probably thinking, what is this heifer talking about? This heifer, this fine heifer, by the way, is talking about like, okay, so today I'm going to vent. That's what it's going to be. I'm talking about how I'm African. I'm West African. I'm proudly from Guinea-Bissau, for whoever does not know. Hey, yes, there are people like me in Africa. Yes, Africans come in all shapes and sizes, folks. Yes, we come in all different variations of hues, of shades, of colors, from the lightest to the darkest, proudly, you know, and yes, I am West African, but in me being West African, sometimes even Africans don't know I'm Africans. And when they look at me, they assume that I'm from somewhere else. I don't know. Let me explain a little bit more. So I'm West African. My parents are all different kinds of African mixed up. My mom has some Indian in her, but everything else is all African. My dad is also African, but different, you know, ethnicities. Because my country, we have like so many different ethnicities, but he also has different cultures and different backgrounds in his bloodline. So not just from Guinea-Bissau, let's say. He has some from Ivory Coast, and yeah, and going on, and Guinea-Conakry and stuff. So shout out to you if you're from there, okay? And yeah, leave me your flag in the comment section if you're from Africa. How about that? Or if you're not, just leave me a flag so I know where you're from. So I grew up between the ages of birth to 9 years old. I grew up going back and forth between Portugal and Guinea-Bissau. Like I'd be with my mom in Guinea-Bissau. She was stationed in Guinea for her job. She's not in the army. I don't know why I'm saying station, but so we meaning myself and my little brother, we'd stay there, and then like something would happen, like there'd be like an epidemic of this or something happened, or blah blah blah, and she would send us to Portugal to either my grandparents or to my aunts, because it wouldn't be safe for us to be in Guinea at the time. So we'd go to Portugal, we'd stay there for like a couple of years, and then we'd somehow be back in Guinea. Guinea, I was always called white, branco pelele, for whoever's from Guinea-Bissau. And in Portugal, I'm a black girl. One time when I was in school, and I remember I was pretty young, this girl told me I had crocodile skin. I think that's the last time she ever told somebody they had crocodile skin. I shoved that crocodile so far up her throat, she's still talking about that to this day. If you watch my video, you the crocodile. I'm over it though. We were kids, you know. Someone probably, and that's one thing, like racism exists because someone puts that into us. Because my kids do not know what it is for someone to be light or be dark or whatever, you know. They do not know. My kid paints me. I don't even know how he paints me. And it's what we teach our kids essentially that makes them turn into the nasty human beings as they become. Anyway. Deep in my emotions. Yeah, so that was my struggle then. I was too white to be an African. I was too black to be European, to be Portuguese. And I was born in Portugal, by the way, but that doesn't mean anything because my parents are African. But back in those days, like I used to really honestly think that I was Portuguese, right? And then I went to America as a stance because my dad was out there, and I went to go be with my dad and my stepmom. And it's like, oh, my stepmom is also black. You know, this for me is new. She's black, but she's Haitian black. So she's not African. Whoa. I didn't even know that could exist at that time, right? Other black people out there that are not from Guinea-Bissau. That's how my mind was processing. But it was cool because then I learned of other cultures, you know, and there are more black folks in the world. Why haven't we all united yet? I don't know, but we're working towards that. We are all working towards that. Yeah. So, yeah. So then when I got to America, initially, when I first got there, first of all, I had to learn English, which was pretty rough on a sister. It actually wasn't that bad. I picked it up pretty quick, but I did make some mistakes every now and then. So like, here's one mistake, right? One time I went to the teacher and I was like, Miss, and I was feeling so like droozy, like I was like really sickish, and I was like, Miss, I'm constipated. And she was like, oh my God, doll, the bathroom's right there. And I was thinking, why is this woman showing me the bathroom? I was thinking, oh God, these Americans are so weird, yo. These Americans are so weird. They're a hot mess. Like, I'm telling this lady I'm not feeling well, and she's telling me the bathroom's right there. Come to find out that in Portuguese, when you say eu estou constipada, which means I have the flu, constipada is flu in Portuguese. But constipated in English means that you have prisão de ventre in Portuguese. Does that make sense? So constipated is when you can't go to the bathroom. Mas constipada in Portuguese means you have the flu. You know, you're all sickish and stuff. So my girl homie say, you know, I am constipated because in my head, constipada translates to constipated. It makes perfect sense, right? No. No, it doesn't. So she pointed me to the bathroom. I later found out, you know, when I went and told my dad, and my dad laughed because he thought it was just so funny. Shits and giggles. Anyway, yeah, so I later found out that do not directly translate languages because it can get you in trouble or it can get you in the toilet. Anyway, so yeah, so that was one of the things I had to deal with. And I also had to learn how to deal with the fact that at that time, America wasn't as friendly to being African as it is now. Because now we all proud to be African. Get what I mean? But back in them days, it's like, oh, them Africans. You know, them Africans weren't a part of African Americans, you know. Them Africans were weird. They came from Africa. And African Americans were completely different, you know. That's how they saw it. So I remember I even, you know, I catch myself now remembering how I used to tell. Like I remember one time I was telling a friend of mine, oh yeah, no, my mom may look a little bit blackish, but she's like whitish, 75% whitish. You know, and then, you know, I passed with that because my mom has hair like mine. Her hair is quite, you know, cute, soft, and, you know, but we all have beautiful hair. Her hair was just straighter and things like that. So that comment passed by, especially at that age group. And this is like around 9, 10, when I'm telling someone, no, I'm more whitish, because I didn't want them to know that I'm more Africanish, because then I would stand out. You know, I already stood out because I had to learn English, you know. So I don't want, you know, and then I was a chubby child. So don't find anything else to poke me with, please. That was in elementary school. By the time I got to high school, I was definitely starting to become more proud of being African. But I remember one of the things going on around that time as well is, you know, to not be proud of being Haitian. It's like, I remember, and the reason why I'm mentioning Haitian is because obviously I'm Haitian by association. My stepmom, who was also my mom, duh, she's Haitian, and my little sisters are Haitian, and my big sister's Haitian. So, you know, I'm Haitian too by association. And back in them days, it was just like, oh no, you know, Haitians were really having a hard time in America. At least in my high school, they were in New Rochelle. And, you know, I had a lot of friends that were proud to be Haitian. And, but then, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you're proud to be Haitian, but you kind of like don't go singing for joy about it everywhere. So not everyone hears you, just like the cool people and the people who being Haitian wouldn't offend so much. So like, you'd be proud to be Haitian to us Africans. Because I don't know which one was worse at the time, being African or being a Haitian, you know? And I think around those times, I started being even more proud of being African. So by the time I got out of high school and, you know, folks were going to college, I didn't really hit up college like that. I did do a year of college, but my college experience is not the typical American college experience. But I'll leave that for another video because it's kind of long. But anyway, so around college times at Montclair, I didn't go there, but my cousin / best friend went there. And yeah, I remember there just being so proud, both of us being so proud to be African. But even then, we would say we're from Guinea-Bissau, but like when someone asks us, so where's that? And then we'd be like, oh, it's like being Cape Verdean, from Cabo Verde. From Cape Verde, as you would say in English. So it's like being Cape Verdean. So, you know, even then, we'd still want to mix in a little bit of, you know, to dilute the Africanness, because Cape Verdeans, which when we refer to them, there are some Pajuds and then there are Badius, but Badius are more like African Cape Verdeans. Don't shoot me if I'm not describing this properly, but y'all know this is really what it is. And some Pajuds are more the mixed Cape Verdeans due to slavery and all that good stuff, right? Y'all lighter, got, softer hair or whatever it is. So yeah, but I eventually got out of that and I just became proud to be African in general. I just, and I remember having so many discussions in America around when I was like 19, 20, especially when I made it to university. I went to a little community college out there somewhere. I'm not going to state facts right now. But I remember having so many discussions because folks would start conversations with them Africans out here taking all our jobs, them Africans. And I used to blow up. Like, when I tell you I blew up. Like, what you mean, them Africans, bro? Like, you don't want to work. People come, whether it's Africans or they're Polish or they're from wherever they come from. They're going to come, or Portuguese. There are a lot of Portuguese folks where I grew up, where I was living at the time in America. And they were out there trying to get that money. So if you're African American and you're not trying to do little jobs because you feel like it belittles you, then let someone else do it. But the moment that someone else does it, like the Mexican cutting grass, the Mexicans is living real good right now, And they're not counting paychecks. Back then, maybe they were, but now they're chilling. Whereas you were sitting there talking about, oh, no, I'm not going to do that because that's below my level. And now someone else is doing it. It's like, oh, they coming over here taking our jobs. And so many countless discussions that I had about, them Africans doing that, Africans doing that. And I remember having to like battle to say, look, I'm African, and folks being like, girl, get out of here, you ain't African, no, you don't know nothing about Africa, get out of here. And I was like, oh my God, where do I belong? Like, I feel so lost. So like in my country, I'm white. In my other country, quote unquote, I'm black. Then I come to like this big country that has a whole bunch of mixture of people that some of them look just like me. And it's like, oh no, they're Hispanics. They're Latinos. So folks would be like, girl, you're not African. You are Boricua and black, or you're like Dominicana and black. Like, stop lying. No, I'm African. Proudly. You get what I mean? Like, is that such a bad thing? Well, years have passed. Social media's presence has taken over. We have started to learn to embrace the African culture. And that's a wide culture to embrace, because when we see Africa, Africa is not just no, Africa is humongous. You have west, north, south, east. What we do in West Africa is not what folks do in East Africa, but yet we're all the same, but we're so different, just like any other continent and its people. East Europe is not the same as West Europe. Totally different. One is warm, the other is cold, and the people are warmer in Spain, whereas I don't even know what's in East Europe, but it's a different mess. Anyway, look. Yeah, so why am I doing this video? I'm doing this video for all of my people that are out there that you still question, where do I belong? Because at this stage, now that I'm here in the Netherlands, it's like people are still like, they're way more mixed, but people here categorize me as well. So it's like, oh, you're a Suriname, or I'm African. And it's like, is it impossible for me to be African? Why is it impossible for me to, why can't I be African? I'm African. I just want to be African in peace. Like, I just want to live my life, be African, Instagram and be African, eat my food and be African, play with my kids and be African, be with my man and be African, go grocery shopping and be African, read a book and be African, go to work and be African, do my hair and be African, fix up my makeup and be African, do my YouTube and be African. Is that hard? That was a long list. I'm on a roll, bro. You better start calling me better. No, but seriously, why is it impossible for me to be African? And if you're out there and you feel that this is a struggle that you have, please comment down below. Like, let's get together. Let's talk about, like, I want to find people to talk to about this, because sometimes I feel like I'm so alone.